communication and leadership skill, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Dear Toastmaster, based on today's theme, I personally believe that sometimes you have to disconnect from the world to find yourself wisdom and the real self. It would refresh your stressful life. And Toastmasters, to have effective session today, I request everyone to follow certain ground rules and tips to use Zoom up very efficiently. For the in-person meeting, for the members, if you are using mobile phone, just put it on muted mode in order to prevent the distraction from the session. For the online members, you can unmute audio whenever you want to speak. Please keep on video as much as possible. For the in-person meeting, for the interest of the guest and members, the gents washroom located on my left side and ladies washroom located on my right side and nearest exit on my left side. Respecting the plurality and diversity of members, we refrain from talking three topics: politics, sex, and religions. So accordingly, I request everyone to arrange their speeches. And I give big round of applause to welcome our President Toastmaster Varghese Siran for his president letter.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh Kaliperumal, our Sergeant Arms. He came 2 days back from India after a long holiday or short holiday, and he's fresh and energy. Let us give a round of applause for kick-starting the meeting. We see flowers, and we experience the smell. We cannot see the smell. Good evening, EXIMIOS, Toastmasters, and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
EXIMIOS. Okay, we'll wait for the wordmaster to have the pronunciation correctly. Okay. So good evening again, once again to everyone. Couple of years back, I'm sitting in a dinner table. Boss is sitting on my front, and one of the supplier, manufacturer representative, sales manager sitting on my left. He is from Malaysia. They are discussing about a topic is diving. My boss loves diving, and this gentleman, he is a diving instructor. He teach people how to dive. They are started talking. See the Damineth Island, fantastic for diving. Malaysia, no, this is better. Malaysia is better. And go through this way, that is a better place for diving. Some location in India. And when goes down for diving, see the corals, beautiful. In which location the coral is beautiful? Where is good? The fish, colorful fish. I'm listening. The next stage is the equipments used in diving. The mask, the cylinder, gas cylinder, oxygen cylinder, the brand of the oxygen cylinder, how you know that gas is getting empty because there is no air under the sea. Then also the techniques. That time I'm not joined Toastmaster, so I don't know how to interrupt and talk. I ask, shall I put some water? This is what I can ask. I don't know about diving. Almost 2 hours plus, just one topic, diving. And I'm sitting here, you know what? I don't know swimming. Without knowing swimming, I'm listening for diving for 2 hours. That day I decided I have to learn swimming. When I started swimming only, I understood that, yes, I can look down and see something on the floor. Otherwise, I'm looking at the swimming pool like this, I don't see anything on the floor. So I started learning swimming. I learned. What is the message when we discuss, when we talk, we are giving to others? Either in the office or at home or anything. Without we communicate, what is the message we are able to give? Is it a positive message or a negative message? By listening to my talk, are we getting inspired to learn a skill or to walk away? I learned that our words, even without the words, give a message, like the smell without our knowledge. We have guest today, Mr. Natarajan. So can you, who introduced you? And I know we know that you are here for last week, but there are some members who are not last week, so they will get to know about you. That's the reason.
Good evening, all. Good evening.
My name is Natarajan. I'm working for the company Muscat Pharmacy as a brand manager. So I've been working in Oman past 25 years. So basically, I'm a pharmacist, and yeah, I mean, I got this great opportunity through Prabhar as well as Selva Kumar to just to come and look at this EXIMIOUS club that is Kimji Toastmaster. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Natarajan, and we welcome you all to our Toastmaster. Every Wednesday we are here, and we all notice that he has used the word of the day. Word of the day in his introduction speech. Today, we have a leader going to take the session. When I took the responsibility of VP Education, I had a chat on the call maybe around 20 minutes. So it is before the club officer training. 20 minutes, he has explained to me what to do, what not to do, and how to do. I never forget. So if any responsibility any of you are going to take, have a chat with Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster, and get all the energy. He is working with the Sahara Group as Vice President, Human Resources. He was our previous club president, area director, division director, and he was also in the district PR team. Let us put our hands together to welcome distinguished Toastmaster Jinachandran Nambiar for the 781st session, Disconnect to Reconnect. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, EXIMIOUS President, for that EXIMIOUS Toastmasterly introduction. Friends, I hope the online members are able to listen. Am I audible for the online members? Fantastic. Friends, the theme that I chose for tonight's session is disconnect to reconnect. We all are living in a modern, perplexed, and a very fast-paced world, wherein technology is very important. We cannot afford to unplug it. But at the same time, we are getting addicted to technology on a very fast manner. If I ask you, you may say that I'm not addicted. But I can bet if you install a tracker in your phone, a tracker which monitors the time that you consume on digital world, particularly on social media, on mobile phone, screen time, you will be taken aback. A major portion of your time in a day's time, you are spending on the digital media, digital world. You're consuming for screen time. And that exactly is taking away quality time, which is meant for our family, which is meant for our exercise, which is meant for sound sleep. Many of us don't even sleep well, even at the last minute, till the time, you have to hit the bed, till such time people are addicted to phone. Yeah. Some of us, how many of you agree to this? At least, yes. Is it good is a question that we need to ask. It is high time for us to disconnect, to reconnect. And for this, there is a concept being developed by two friends, Levi Felix and Forrest Bonanza from United States, called digital detox. We do detoxification, and we can also do digital detox. And it is highly important for us to do that because, as Stephen Covey said in one of his books, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, he has explained 4 quadrants about things which are important, things which are urgent, things which are not important but which are urgent, and things which are not urgent but important, and things which are not urgent and not important. In a very nice way, he presented. I'm not going to present the whole thing here, but the crux of that concept is the things which are of most important in our life should never be at the mercy of things which are of least important. That is what he presented in that chapter. I'm sure most of you would have read the book Stephen Covey's 7 Habits. If not read, I highly recommend for you to read, because we tend to overlook at the things which are important, and we pay attention to things which are not so important. And for that, this digital detoxification will really help you to come out of this. Okay. As I progress the session, I will definitely touch upon the benefits and how do we do that. We'll discuss that. But in the meantime, I have an eximious team of Toastmasters who is going to conduct this today's session. The first role player for tonight is timekeeper. Timekeeper role is being taken by Toastmaster Satish. Toastmaster Satish is a commercial head working with Gulfar Engineering as a commercial head. He has got almost a reservoir full of 20 years of experience in the engineering world, and of which 10 years with Gulfar. And he's also our Vice President Public Relations. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. Our timer, Toastmaster Satish Selvaraju, to explain the role of timekeeper.
TMOD. Good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished students. I will kindly discuss formal features and evaluation. I will allow each speaker using green, yellow, and red signals. Speak on remain. Table topic speaker should limit their speech for not more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will switch on green signal. At 1 minute 30 seconds, I will turn on yellow signal, and 2 minutes, I will turn on red signal. In today's session, we have 2 prepared speeches. The first one, ice-breaking speech. The speech time should be 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I will turn on green signal, and 5 minutes, I will turn on yellow signal. At 6 minutes, I will turn on red signal. The second speech should be 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will turn on green signal. At 6 minutes, turn on yellow signal. At 7 minutes, I will turn on red signal. Today's session we have humor monster signal. So about 4 minutes. At 3 minutes, I will turn on green signal. At 3 minutes 30 seconds, I will turn signal. At 4 minutes, I will turn on red signal. The individual evaluation should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will turn on green signal. At 2 minutes 30 seconds, I will turn on yellow signal. At 3 minutes, I will turn on red. For all 30 seconds, no sleep will be provided after turning on red signal. At the end of the meeting, I will bring the report, final report, and I will read out. Thank you, and over to TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Satish. We cannot ask for more. He has explained so well that everything is crystal clear. Each and every segment, each and every role, he has very well explained the timing criteria. Fantastic. Keep it up. Friends, before I get into the next role player, I'll just tell you what is digital detox. Digital detox is a process wherein people make voluntary attempts. Please come. You want to come and sit here? This is Kimji Toastmasters. Okay, come here. Digital detox is a process wherein people make voluntary attempts to refrain from using digital devices. It is not that somebody can do it. We have to only do it voluntarily if you really want it, thereby allocating quality times for the real purpose in our life, like family time, or even friends, or even learning, reading, whatever it is. So it's a voluntary process. Now let me get into the next role player. Next player is word master and grammarian, and this is being performed by our Toastmaster Selva Kumar. Toastmaster Selva Kumar is past area director. Toastmaster Selva Kumar is also working with Muscat Pharmacy as sales manager, and he is a philanthropist. All of us know that he is always there to lend a helping hand to the needy one. And he is a very person with heart-to-heart connection. I literally have seen him literally crying, tears coming out of his eyes on the stage when he was giving a farewell party to our dear Navanitha Krishnan in front of a large audience. He was literally crying on the stage. That is the kind of heart-to-heart connection he maintains. Ladies and gentlemen, explain the role of word master and grammarian. And to introduce the new word, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Selva Kumar.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for this wonderful introduction. Indeed, it is my pleasure to be standing in front of you as a word master and a grammarian today. Words are so powerful when it is used in the right situation with the right terminology. Would you agree, Toastmasters?
Yes.
And most of us, in a point of time, we do communicate to many of our customers or the company people internally and outside the organization. So each mail, each words matters the most. And in Toastmasters, in every session, there is a very golden opportunity we have among us is the learning of new words. And today, as a grammarian and as a word master, let me introduce the word of the day, eximious. Could you please see? Eximious, yes. The synonyms are distinguished, eminent, excellent, outstanding, or highly skilled. Now, how do you use this word eximious in your regular speeches? Our eximious Toastmaster Asha Mohan stood out from all the speakers in the division contest. The team's eximious efforts resulted in winning their championship. So, dear Toastmasters, I would encourage all of you to use the word of the day, eximious, in your speeches in today's segment. I also have a role of a grammarian in which I will note down the good usage of the languages, words, phrases used by the Toastmasters, and also some of the grammatical errors which is being delivered unknowingly will be notified to you at the end of the segment when called upon by the general advocate. With this, let me hand over the podium to our TMOD.
Thank you, Toastmaster Selva Kumar, for eximiously introducing. Can I say that? Is it correct? Or explaining your role very well. What eximiously or very well. Fantastic. Friends, our next role player. See, we tend to make some kind of mannerism while speaking. It could be some annoying sounds that distracts the quality of our speech. If you pay attention to that, or if someone pay attention to that and bring it to our notice, we'll be able to take care of that and improve our speeches. For that, we have a relatively new Toastmaster. He is associated with Toastmasters, Kimchi Toastmasters for the last couple of months. He is a chartered accountant by profession and working with Al Bhaja group of companies as group internal auditor. To explain the role as that of an accountant, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster.  . 。  . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 . 。 。 。 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 。 .
.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and eximious guest. It's my honor to be part with an A counter today in this 781 session of Khimji's Toastmaster Club. Purpose of the A counter is I will heard and listen the sounds that are used as a crutch or filler words by anyone who is going to speak today. During the meeting, I will also listen the overused words such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Further, I will also listen the filler sounds like eh, and air. I will also note when a speaker repeats any words like I, this means, and so on. And at the end of the session, I will represent my report that how many number of times the speaker has used this sort of words and the expressions what are there. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Toastmaster Dawel. It never appeared that he is doing it for the first time. Congratulations. Well done. Keep it up. Friends, our next role player is general evaluator. And this is being performed by our immediate past president. He is associated with Ibn Sina Pharmacy since 2004. He is currently holding the position of retail sales operations manager. So I can imagine the kind of responsibility that he's holding. Retail, sales, and operations. So he is holding a big responsibility in the organization. He is also a social worker, never hesitates to lend his hand whenever and wherever required. There are many people getting benefited out of his broad-mindedness, or I can say generosity back home. And to explain the role as that of a general evaluator, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Prabhakaran.
Good evening, EXIMIOUS Toastmaster of the Day and fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests.
Good evening.
Good evening. The purpose of general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. Also, I will evaluate whatever happens during the meeting. I will take notes on, then I will give that my report. Also, I will conduct the evaluation session. For that, evaluators, they will come and give the evaluation feedback for the respective speakers. So I will give my detailed report when Toastmaster of the Day calls upon during the evaluation segment. Thank you. Over to EXIMIOUS Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Prabhakar. Keep it up, keep it up. Very good applause. Keep it up. Thank you, Toastmaster Prabhakar, for very well explaining your role as that of a general evaluator. Friends, before we get into the prepared project speeches, let me just briefly touch upon the kind of benefits that we get out of digital detoxification. When we do digital detoxification, as I mentioned, it improves the quality of our life. It makes us calm down. It reduces our stress level. It makes you content, and it helps you improve your focus on whatever activity that you are doing. Just imagine if you keep distracted by looking at the phone, the focus will get distracted, and the quality of the performance that you are giving to any kind of task will get diminished to a great extent. So it improves your focus, and it makes you more productive. And more than anything else, it makes you feel better about yourself. Your self-esteem will go up to a considerable level because your time is being qualitatively used, your time is being productively used, and it affects your overall quality of your life. So your self-esteem goes up, and your health is going to be better because you will not have any kind of blurry vision, kind of teary eyes, and strain, headaches, and so on and so forth. And finally, it will help you to get a very good sound sleep. These are the benefits I just say quickly, but there are plenty of benefits by doing digital detoxification. Friends, are you ready for the main core segment, which is called prepared project speeches? Yes. Are you ready? Very good. Okay. Today we have a couple of project speeches, prepared project speeches. For those of you who may not be knowing what is prepared project speeches, these are, for the benefit of guests, these are speeches prepared as per the manual objectives set out in the manual given by the Toastmasters International. There is a curriculum called Pathways, and they follow that. So today's first speaker is Toastmaster PM Dhoni, and the first evaluator is Toastmaster Anil Kumar. Toastmaster Anil Kumar also is past area director, past president of this very own club. He was past VP education, and he is associated with Gulfar Engineering as technical advisor to the chairman, to the managing director, CEO, sorry, CEO, to the CEO. So he is also holding a very senior and responsible position. In spite of his busy schedule, he is making himself available amongst us. It's a great thing for all of us because we get to learn from him. And to explain the evaluation criteria of the first speech that is going to be delivered by Toastmaster Dhoni, let's welcome Toastmaster Anil Kumar.
EXIMIOUS Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guest. My speaker, Dhoni PM, is going to take an important step in his Toastmaster journey. We're going to give a big round of applause to him. Welcome. As I said, he is embarking a journey of public speaking with his ice-breaking speech today. And the path he chooses is dynamic leadership. Project 1, icebreaker, title of his speech is My Experience of a Man Culture. The purpose of the project is for the speaker to introduce himself to the club and to learn the basic structure of public speaking. As an evaluator, it's my duty to give an evaluation which is effective on his speech delivery and content. The speaker may choose any style he may conversant with, such as an informative speech, a persuasive one, or a humor he can introduce, which is very convenient and comfortable with you. Time allotted for use 4 to 6 minutes. My best wishes to the speaker. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anil, for very well explaining the evaluation criteria and very well motivating the speaker as well by asking the audience to give a round of applause. That was a very good initiative. And friends, how about stealing someone's speech and delivering it? Is it good?
No, no.
Is good?
No.
Not good, right? If I may have to introduce him, it is as good as stealing his speech because he's going to introduce himself. So I'm not doing that crime. I will let him only do that crime. And only one thing I would like to tell is that he is a highly enthusiastic person. Even before I call him, he was almost here to deliver the speech. So friends, put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster PK Dhoni.
Before go through the presentation, it's an EXIMIOUS quote by Dr. Prabhatis Mruda. If you compete others, you may fail. If you compete yourself, you always win by becoming better.
This is an EXIMIOUS quote. So a lot more often in my life, I spelt it. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and my fellow members and EXIMIOUS guests. Today, I would like to speak about my experience. You would have heard about more often about my name and where I'm working, where I'm standing. Myself, Dhoni. I'm from Kerala. You may heard about Calicut. Nowadays, Calicut is very famous. Someone can say about Calicut because yes,
gold
you said
smuggling.
it.
Lot of gold smuggling happens.
Yeah. So actually, because I made it on Nipah, because always the third time Nipah has come in Calicut.
Correct.
Very unfortunate things. Anyway, we pray to gods, everything will be solved. My family belongs to my parents. I have 2 kids, and my wife, she is a teacher, and I have elder brother. Basically, I'm a pharmacist. I studied in my school days in near my area. It's called Pariyapuram St. Joseph School, and I passed out my pharmacy courses in Palakkad district. It's far away. It's around 90 kilometers away from my home. Basically, I started working as a pharmacist in a hospital, but always I went on to work as a sales executive because why? This much of confidently, the person who is coming in the pharmacy and who is talking to you with well dressed, good smile, and well, it's like a different vibe. You could see the person. Finally, I have reached as a sales executive. Then I started my career in Kerala. 5 years I've been working there. After that, I got the golden opportunity in Sultanate of Oman in 2004. I entered here. I started my journey here with a different culture. Actually, I loved a lot. If you compare to India, definitely you have to learn a lot of things here. The Omani, how they treat you, the way they have maintaining the environment, waste management, speaking to some others. Always they wish to speak to you and they'll smile to you and they won't allow you as from theirs. So I love it a lot. Obviously, as a first experience in abroad, as a pharmacist, I passed my Ministry of Health exam. Then I reached in Buali. It's a different, it's a typical area. It's like a village if you call. It's an EXIMIOUS experience, could say like that. If you worked in the pharmacy, definitely you have to learn the basic knowledge of Arabic. That was an important task. I got it. Obviously, I started my career with my colleague. It was helped a lot. But always I assist him. There are a lot of comedy happen in the pharmacy. Always in Arabic, they will ask something to you. You may not knowing what he is asking, they're asking. Even one of the experience I got, it means they come by us and they parked outside to tie it up in some post or somewhere. It was an experience to me. Instead of coming with vehicle, they're coming to us. So these are the experience entered Oman. I got it, especially because always I try to remember all those things. And I could travel everywhere in Oman as a sales executive. When Salalah, Sur, Niswa, those areas. And when I reach in Salalah, you know about Salalah, it's a green belt of Oman. You would have once have to visit in Salalah, their cultures, and the people, how they love you, how they treat you, the way. Especially, I really experienced with my family. I have 2 kids. Elder one is studying in 10th standard. They were here, but for time being, they're in India. My wife, she's a teacher. My younger one, she's a baby girl. She's studying in 4th standard. I'm really happy. The job I got it here from Master Pharmacy, always, because I keep in my mind, always I got a lot of help from my colleagues as well as my friends. At the same time, Same manner, I keep my friends in my heart. Definitely for them only I'm standing here virtually. I would like to say about Toastmaster, it's an eximious experience. I got it here because when I came here, such a platform, definitely I would like to utilize. As a sales executive, definitely I'll forward and I will experience it. This is my nice experience. I thanks to Mr. Selva Kumar. Because of him only, I received this platform. Thank you very much. That's from my side.
Thank you. One standing ovation, please. Standing ovation for the ice-breaking speech. What a fantastic speech. All the best, all the best.
So this is how one should come confidently and deliver the speech. I feel envy of you, Dhoni, because when I came here for my ice-breaking speech, it was in Darset. Only, I think, DTM George Thomas and DTM Nainan Thomas and Toastmaster Govind Negi may be there present. Unfortunately, Sriraman is not here now, along with us. I could not speak the way you spoke here now. I was hiding behind the podium to ensure that my shivering legs are not visible for others. Seriously, I was using the podium. That was my confidence that day. But this platform has really helped me stand in front of every one of you without shiver. Friends, our second speaker is Toastmaster Asha Raman, and her speech is going to be evaluated by another senior Toastmaster from the fraternity, DTM Praveen Panikar. DTM Praveen Panikar is our current Division G Director. He is past area director. He is also so much engrossed himself with supporting kids, and he is highly committed to nurture the Gavaliers of our own very own club called KTI Gavel Club. It is because of him that I can proudly say that it is still going on, because he is the one initiating. We all are there to support, but his push is required for all of us to go there. He is really pushing all of us. And he is working as AGM with one of the leading engineering companies in Oman called Bhavan Engineering Company. Blessed with one smart boy who's in Canada, and his wife is working with Indian School, Muscat, as physics teacher. Ladies and gentlemen, to explain the evaluation criteria of the next speech, please welcome DTM Praveen Panikar.
Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Today, my speaker, Toastmaster Asha Mohan, the depth of the sky is a topic she has chosen to deliver her speech. Here, she is going to deliver her second speech in the same project. She has already delivered one speech a while ago, and the evaluator has given some recommendations. The recommendations given by the evaluator was the first, to improve her eye contact as well as the voice modulation. The purpose of this project is the member to incorporate those feedback she has received from the first speech and presented before us. She definitely would have planned to incorporate those feedbacks in the speech. She can choose to present the same speech or a new speech. And also it can be a humorous, informational, or any style the speaker would like to present it before us. I'm sure she would have prepared well to give us an eximious speech, which she has already given once. With that experience, I'm sure we are all going to witness an eximious delivery by our speaker, titled as The Depth of the Sky. Wishing all the very best, my speaker. Back to Ken in the back. Well,
That was indeed very, very well eximiously explained the role, explained the evaluation criteria of the speech. Friends, now our second speaker is all set to come and deliver her speech. The second speaker is Toastmaster Asha Mohan Ram. Toastmaster Asha, Madam Toastmaster Asha is associated with Indian School Wadi Kabir as activity coordinator. She is an avid speaker, an eloquent speaker. We have seen her progressing from this club. Of course, she was a very good speaker even before joining the club, but from here she fine-tuned her speaking skill and taken to the next level. And she is also Nightingale of our club. She is one of the best singers I have seen in this club. How many of you heard of her singing? I'm sure all of you would have, but the newcomers wouldn't have heard. You will get an opportunity. We will make an opportunity. Yeah. Yeah, not today. Today, I don't know whether she has incorporated in her speech. If you are lucky, you will get it. But we will soon get an opportunity. She is going to deliver project number 2, level 1, innovative planning from Pathways. And she has titled her speech, The Depth of the Sky. And she has got 5 to 7 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Asha Mohan to deliver her project. All the best.
A brave man is not the one who does not feel afraid. He's the one who can conquer his fears, by Nelson Mandela. A very good evening to distinguished Toastmasters, Toastmaster of the Day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I've heard experts say that fear is not real. That's such a baloney. Fear is absolutely real. And I'm sure many of you here have faced some kind of fear in your life, be it in the walk of your work, your relationship, or anywhere outside with your clients. And these fears are the ones which holds us back from living our life to the fullest. For example, person who has a fear of public speaking cannot express himself, he cannot share his views, he cannot share his opinions, he holds himself back. Person who has a fear of flying cannot see the world, he cannot explore the world, he cannot meet people. And a person who has a fear to speak to his boss, especially for a pay hike, cannot save money, isn't it? And in short, fear kills you. But dear Toastmasters, it doesn't have to. You must be wondering, why am I talking all this when my title of the speech is Depth of the Sky? Because my title covers 2 fears which I had in me. The fear of height and the fear of deep water. And today, I'm going to share a secret weapon which will help you conquer fear in your life, which I heard from Mel Robbins, one of her books, and her lecture. But before I dive into it, I would like to share a few facts about fear. Fact number 1 is that fear and excitement have the same physical body condition. Surprised, isn't it? Because whether we are in fear or whether we are super excited, our heart beats very fast. We tend to sweat. Our chest becomes very tight and fits in our stomach. The difference between fear and excitement is something very interesting. It's a brain game. And fact number 2 is that people say that when you are in a fearful state, calm down. But you and I very well know that it's ridiculous. If I tell you to calm down when you're in a state of fear, will you be able to do it? No, it's difficult. It's like placing a boulder in front of a super fast train. What happens to the train? It rips apart, right? In the same way, when you are in a state of fear, then your mental state is in a state of very high arousal. And at that time, if you intend to calm down, then it's like a boulder placed in front of a train. It rips you apart. Second fact is that you always have to have in your mind that I am not fearful. I'm fearless. It's just a matter of full replacing less. It's simple, but we make it complicated. So with this, I would like to share, keep this at the back of your mind, these two facts. And I would like to share a couple of experiences that I had in my life. How many of you here have been to the Ferrari World, Abu Dhabi? Quite a few. For those who have already been, and for those who have not yet been, I would like to mention about a roller coaster ride there, which is called the Flying Aces. Okay, it's one of the world's highest roller coaster loop. It escalates up to a height of 63 meters. It inclines steeply to around 51 degrees. It runs at the speed of 120 kilometers per hour. And believe me, all this just in 2 minutes. Easy peasy, right? We say just 2 minutes, it's okay. And when I read the specs of this roller coaster in the board there, I said, whoa, I'm not going to attempt this. It's stupidity. It's dangerous. It's ridiculous. I know I'm insured, but why the hell should I give away my life in a roller coaster? But my kids came and told me, come on, mom. It's just one time, once in a lifetime. I know you're scared, but then you will enjoy it. Come on with us. And I said, chalo, let me give it a try. And I stepped into the arena. And I saw this huge anaconda like a roller coaster, which was just piercing the sky and then drops down and splits the earth. That my heart took a beat back. Experience number 2 is set in the background of Cairns in Australia, where we had booked a ticket for a guided deep water dive. And Australian waters come under the Pacific Ocean, the most deadliest, deepest, and the most dangerous ones. They say that the rip current in the Pacific sweeps away even the best of the swimmers. And the water there during winters is freezing. It makes your skin blue. And guess what? We were there in winter. So we step in and I get my diving suit, which was terrific, and I was not comfortable in that. And I step down into the water, and what do I see? Umpteen number of eximious fishes and water bodies. That scared me more. But this time my brother told me, come on, sis, let's do it. And we went in. Both the times I was in the same situation where my heart was beating, my pulse running fast. And then I adapted the strategy of Mel Robbins, which is a 5-second strategy, wherein you have to have an anchor word or an anchor line, which has to relate to the scene. At the same time, it has to be a mesmerizing one, which keeps you happy. So I thought to myself, let me do both of these activities and let me post my pictures in Insta and FB and tell my friends that I sat in the highest roller coaster, I dived into the Pacific Ocean. I kept telling that to myself. And when I stepped in, I had a backward count of 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And I started repeating the anchor statement to myself. Believe me, Toastmasters, it works. It sounds stupid, but it works. And I still adapt it during tense situations at work, at home. It still works. So basically, you just need to understand that lose your fear using this simple strategy, and you can live your life to the fullest in the eximious way. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you. That was indeed a marvelous speech. Friends, honestly, I was also in the very same roller coaster some 10 years back when it was introduced, Ferrari World. And Yas Island, we went 2-3 days, we spent there. I just sat in that roller coaster and I closed my eyes. I could not open my eyes. I completely closed. Again, my kids only pushed me to that because it was not an experience one should experience. And I told my friends and kids and everybody, even if someone gives me 1,000 Riyal also, I don't want to experience it anymore. But that was indeed a very good speech, a lot of takeaways. Friends, let's understand how do we do the digital detoxification. See, first pay attention to your emotion when you use your phone. Today I was sitting there 3-4 times my hand went there. I was about to check, one phone, one message. See, now Dhoni, I can see. Dhoni, he was checking and he just kept it down. So pay attention to your emotion. And if you think that your emotion, if you're getting feel better emotion, no, you are addicted to it. If you feel better while taking and looking at it, you are already addicted to it. So you have to be very careful. Schedule fixed break from your phone. You can think that, okay, some of my friends, they have introduced and they've implemented and it's working very well. One of my friends' wife, she will look at the WhatsApp only when she comes back from office for 1 hour and then no more digital. And it's working. And she was addicted to it and it's working well. I'm sharing the experience of a non-person. Okay. Then you can even give a time break of 15 to 30 minutes. Start with, then see if it is working. Try to improve it. Like, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. And then if it is really required, you need, of course, cannot completely unplug digital phone and medias and all, because it is important, it is required. But if you think you are spending on times on reels and Facebooks and all those stuff, which is really consuming your productive time, this way you can try. Then keep practice of not using phone when you are out for a walk, when you are at home taking dinner. Always make your phone. I would recommend. I implemented in my house. It's working well. There is a no phone zone. That is our dining room, dining table. Nobody is allowed to take phone there, and it is working well. You also implement what I am saying. Maybe you may find it silly, but beware of your kids. They are getting addicted to it, and it is serious. And in US, this kind of retreat for digital detoxification is there many, and it is not very far in India and Oman and all. It will come soon, so many, because people are getting addicted, and you also get your hunches. You get so many kind of diseases, but we don't notice it now. As we get old, you will understand. You will have neck pain, you will have stiff neck. So many things are coming out. I've read a lot about this to present this. So always keep the practice of disconnecting at night and keep the notification off, all the notification, so that it will not distract you at all. Whenever you feel like, take it. If someone is calling when you're taking dinner or when you are having some engaged in some productive conversation with your family members, don't take it, even if it is VP education calling you. Don't take it, because the phone, in one of the books written by Robin Sharma, Who Will Cry When You Die, he has written very well. The phone is purchased for your convenience, not for others' convenience. So nobody should steal your time from your productive time when you are engaged in with some family conversation or taking dinner or maybe doing something very good for office. Just let it be. Now 3 times my phone was ringing. I'm in Toastmasters meeting. I cannot take that. Varghese was thinking that what is it? He's not even sending a message, right? I'm not sending a message. Let it be. The phone is for my convenience. So keep that policy. And set no gadget. I'd already told a zone in the family. Okay. So now we have a very interesting segment waiting here, which is, oh, sorry. Can I know the timer's report for the 2 speeches?
Toastmaster Bernie PM, 6 minutes, 1 second.
Fantastic. He's qualified.
Toastmaster Asha Mohan, 7 minutes, 15 seconds.
Very good. Both are qualified. So let's give what's can I borrow a ballot paper?
Yeah.
It's distributing now only. See, generally validator, please note, it's distributing now. Okay, while the voting is on, friends, we used to generally have a segment called humor segment. Once upon a time, I would say. And it was really a very good segment, and we were all enjoying that humor segment. You remember once upon a time, but for the past several months, I don't see that segment. So I had some 5 minute surplus in the agenda. I thought, why not we introduce this, or why not at least experience this? We have time. So today, to entertain us, we have Toastmaster Santosh Karkal. Toastmaster Santosh Karkal is working with STS company. He is a subcontracting manager. He is also an engineer by profession. And he is also our secretary who is meticulously doing the secretarial job. You get the minutes of the meeting immediately after the meeting. That is something very good he is doing. Ladies and gentlemen, to present the humorous segment, please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Santosh Karkal.
Good evening, Toastmaster. I'm EXIMIOUS guest. So today, TMOD himself cracked so many jokes. So I don't know whether I'll be able to, have that session with the good punches, as you told. Yeah. So I'm going to tell about this mindfulness. When I tell mindfulness, what will come to your mind? Awareness, being present, etc. Present, etc. Correct. So when during look, this basically mindfulness, what will do is it will actually, if you don't have that ability to be mindful, you may not be able to have it will impact your relationship. There's a chance of it impacting your relationships, or it will, help in developing some humor sense. This is recently when I on the way to India in airport, I happened to experience a situation where I was in the queue, to collect the boarding pass. So next to my counter, there was a flight for Bangladesh. And when I was waiting, I was watching one Bengali person there, arguing with the official, the counter official. And his baggage was overweight and he was trying to convince. They didn't agree. So he got frustrated. He went towards that shrink wrap counter. Meanwhile, my boarding pass, everything I collected, I got checked in. So I continued to watch this guy. He was a little kind of cartoon kind of person. So it interested in my mind. So I just continued to watch. That guy then, with frustration, he was like shuffling all the materials which he bought so that it can match to that baggage weight. After that, he came back to the counter. Abhi khush? He asked that counter person. So she stayed back and she just kept quiet and she asked, okay, passport. He, with a Mitunda style, well, he was looking like that. Then suddenly he changed that style to Rajpal Yadav. Passport. So that lady that on the counter, she told, अबे देख तेरा ये जो खजाना है उसमें देखो उसमें पड़ा होगा तो अब तो रैप किया. So he silently took that and he went to that wrap counter again. He opened it. He saw that hurdle. He put that passport in there. So he got embarrassed with the situation he created. He came back with humbleness. He gave the luggage and passport and continued. Now, this is how, if you are not having that mindfulness, this is what you face the situation. For the twist, I will tell what cost I paid on base, in terms of relationship because of not being mindful in a situation. Recently, I went to the restaurant with my colleague, which we regularly go there. And because of this, we had a good rapport with the waiters and with that restaurant bearer. So we ordered for the tea, and we had as usual, good talk, a joke with that guy, the waiter, and he served it and he went away. While having tea, I just shared the same story with my colleague. When I was talking, there is a Bengali character in the story. When I was discussing this guy waiter had come here, which I didn't realize. He was sitting here and having breakfast. I narrated all the story, and we were laughing like anything with all that cartoon character. Suddenly, when I finished my story, when I saw this guy was fully staring at me because he was alert, because I was talking about Bengali and he himself is a Bengali. So I was like, what to do? And then colleague was also, he was like, the situation I am in, he enjoyed a lot. So he was like, okay. Then I saw him. He just saw me and stared back and gone. Before that, he cracked a joke with me. Now he stared back and he went away. Now, this is the look, because of this, when I was not in mindfulness, I had to, cause this of losing the relationship with him. I don't know the next time when I visit, how he'll be reacting. So I urge all people to be mindful and develop your wisdom to have a good, mindful life.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Who said he is not good at evoking laughter? Everybody laughed here, and all of us enjoyed. And this is called karma. You did something so the Bengali heard what all you said also. Anyway, good. Friends, I would request all of you to just stand up. Stand up, stand up. We have 10 exact minutes, and there are some mouth-watering and yummy snacks waiting outside. And this is sponsored by none other than our founder president, DTM, double DTM, George Thomas. Please give a thunderous round of applause and walk, and walk, and walk. Walk. We have only 10 minutes. And for the online members, please bear with us. We'll be right back within 10 minutes. Online members, applauding. We are now getting into the much wider and the more interactive and exciting conversation. More exciting segment of China. So this table topic segment is going by our founder president. If I talk about himself, he is a master of communicating. My God, there is only one DTM. All others are DTM, DTM Rajasthan, DTM Srikumar Pai, DTM, so many names. But this gentleman got only one name, DTM. Why? Because when I joined Toastmasters, it was the only DTM. Even Srikumar Pai also got DTM much after. So I am saying his name as DTM. So DTM George Thomas is the CEO of Middle East Management Consultancy. DTM George Thomas is triple postgraduate. Recently he got one more post-graduation, MPhil. And DTM George Thomas is currently on his way to get his PhD. We will soon say Dr. KTM George. So he's almost there, and he's actually he has got a long list, big list of profile. I don't want to read all those things, but what I want to tell you is that the reason the way we all are here is because of his thought also. He and DTM Sigma Pi jointly formed this club, and that's why we all are meeting here week after week and gaining the advantages of those masters. Please come, please. Further. Okay, that's one. So, DTM George Thomas is also, he has formed several clubs. People used to call it club making mission at one time, because when I joined Toastmasters and all, people used to call it club making mission. So every month or every alternating month, one club used to mushroom here and there. And who is the founder, who is the sponsor for that? DTM George. And he has, in fact, he has touched the lives of many people in Oman, including me. I have taken up various leadership positions because of the push from this gentleman and Indian Sigma both. So, ladies and gentlemen, to conduct the table topic segment of tonight, please put your hands together and welcome DTM George Thomas. Thank you for your wonderful. I owe you something.
Oh, you owe me something, right? You remember that photo he recognized?
Photo, please. I told, I don't know what is. I guess Sunil Kumar Ravi.
Yes. Sunil Kumar Ravi. Thank you so much for this book.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All the best.
This is better or that better?
Get to the top.
Oh, another Thomas is there, correct? Good evening, Toastmasters. EXIMIOUS Toastmasters and EXIMIOUS guests. You are the guest, correct? Anybody else? That I know. Division Director, guest. I'm here after a long time. Nice that I found a real good crowd today. Fine. Now today my role is table topics master. I tried to bring a lot of topics on the basis of the theme. Disconnect to reconnect. Correct? Can I start? Do you take any requests before you start this, saying that don't call me, I have throat pain, that's something you want to take that? Or you have to? And my ground rule is, if you are unattentive, you are the first pray for me. And the real rule is you have 2 minutes to speak. The timer will show you green at 1 minute, then yellow at 1.5, and 2 at 3. I mean, red at 2 minutes, till you get 30 seconds to conclude your speech. So all you are ready? Yeah. Okay, let us see that. Now my first topic is mindful living. Somebody said about mindful living. How to disconnect from distractions and reconnect with the present. How to disconnect from distractions and reconnect with the present. Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster, Pradeep. Giving the mic. You got it? Yes, no. Good luck. Thank you for the topic. Yeah. Thank you.
Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters, and my distinguished guest. Definitely, myself and DTM George Thomas were sitting side by side. When he came over here, he got disconnected from me at the present. So I never thought that he will immediately connect me in this way. It's a very important topic, which or a subject which we all need to think of. Even how to disconnect is what our distinguished Toastmaster of the day was explaining in very of his texts. But I would like to ask you, to what extent it is practically possible? Can anyone say it is 100% possible? No. Then why are you thinking of getting disconnected when you are happy being connected? I hope everyone will agree to it. So my objective is connected or disconnected, leave it aside. It is a job of the service providers. If you wish to look, look at it. If you don't wish to look, don't look at it. Let's keep things simple. But all these over addiction, all these problems, which we talk on a daily basis and which we come across in the social media because we are opening the social media, is what brings to our mind that we are overusing these apps or these social media newses to decide how we move. And definitely, the world that is going to move forward is connected using this medium of social media. And if you look into it, the number of apps that has been developed for each and every purposes is so many. The market potential is very high. The earnings which many people who in the social media world is very high right now. So my suggestion is, if you wish to disconnect, disconnect. If you wish to get connected, connect. Don't complain that you're disconnected and going to be disconnected because it would add another pressure to you. This is my opinion of getting disconnected to being connected at the present. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Distinguished Toastmaster Pradeep. Wonderful. When did you come to know about Zoom? In 2020, correct? With the COVID. And now everything is on Zoom. So what is this age called? Age of screens. Have you ever heard it? Age of screens. So I have a topic on that. The art of conversation in the age of screens. I repeat, the art of conversation in the age of screens. To talk about this topic, may I request Toastmaster Praveen PV. Good luck. Art of conversation in the age of screen.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guest. My topic is art of conversation in the age of screen. This is very relatable to all our present situation, because after COVID, just before COVID, my branch manager promoted us as assistant vice president, and he went to Dubai, and he is based on Dubai. After that, all the sales meetings, all the things on screen only. So before it was physical, and now it is on screen. So wherever, whatever shouting or whatever things, whatever he is firing, we cannot switch off the screen also. So we have to be presentable. Our face, we cannot show the emotion. What is the actual emotion inside us? We cannot show in the screen. And also we are not able, we are not allowed to switch off the screen. So in the present situation, we have to be study how to be presentable in the screen. Whatever it is we feel inside, we have to be presentable. So that is my experience. This art of conversation in the age in this age of screen. That is my experience. Thank you. And back to Table Topic Master.
Thank you very much. Well done. Give me a round of applause. The next topic is the power of alone time can discover solitude. The power of alone time can rediscover solitude. May I request Toastmaster Nainan Thomas to speak on this? Got the topic?
Okay. Can you repeat?
You want me to repeat?
Yep.
Yeah. The power of alone time is best for rediscover solitude. Got it?
DTM, ETM, for EXIMIOUS Toastmaster, that is, D can be replaced by E. Table topic master. But this is not a topic what he told me in the morning that he will ask. Anyway, it's okay. The power of lone time. So, your character, integrity, everything is measured or reflected in what you do in your lone time when you are not monitored and nobody is watching. In other words, you could be a very good person in the face value when you are under watch, when you are under observation in front of people in every aspect. But when you are alone, what you do, how you do it, that determines the caliber or the quality of your character, the quality of your integrity. So when that improves, the power of your solitude improves. So you got to maintain the quality of your character to develop your integrity. Solitude is very important for your peace of mind and for your self-development. So how you do it, it matters. So the power of your alone improves your solitude. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Man and Thomas. That's fine, correct. Now, the next topic. Outdoor activities are the best to reconnect with nature. Outdoor activities are the best to reconnect with the nature. And you know, there is only one person who can talk about this topic. May I request distinguished Toastmaster Govind Negi to talk about this. Good luck.
I'm an indoor man.
Got it.
You did not say twice.
Well,
You said?
yes. You want me to repeat? For the reconnect nature.
I'm taking 30 seconds. Distinguished Toastmaster DTM George Thomas and my fellow Toastmasters, what is the best way to connect yourself when doing outdoor activities? I think whenever you are connecting with outdoor activities, it is you. Very, very important thing is you are disconnecting yourself with a stressful job, a stressful screen time, and you are connecting with yourself. And when you connect yourself and you go outside, you are still yourself. Then whether you are in a park, you are enjoying the park, you are enjoying the greenery, you are enjoying the exercise you are doing. If you are going for a hike, you are enjoying the hike. So it is you. So it is not that outdoor thing, but you are with yourself only when you are with yourself, then only that enjoyment happens. When you are not with yourself, the enjoyment cannot happen. That's why whenever we talk about yoga and meditation, we say that remain mindful. You remain in the present. You remain with your breath. You just watch your inhalation. You are inhaling. You are watchful about inhalation. When you are exhaling, you are absolutely watchful about your exhalation. And that time you are with yourself. And only when such thing happens, you are enjoying anything you are doing, whether you are stargazing, whether you are doing some trekking or hiking or swimming or deep diving, you will always enjoy. So being an outdoor activities, you can always enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavnagi. I told you he's the best person, right? Would you like to talk to? Would you like to speak? Sure. Okay. Now, my next topic is the disconnection between generation. How can you bridge the gap through communication? The disconnection between generations. How can you bridge the gap through communication? Got it? Put your hands together to welcome. Yes. May I know your name? Natarajan. Good. Mr. Natarajan, out to you. Got the topic correct? Generation gap. How will you bridge generation gap? As a disconnect and reconnect.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening, Tabletop Master. See, generation gap, now we all experience very much because like in the olden days, we live in a family of big crowd. I would say like 10 people, 20 people, big family, everyone. So we chat within the family. We spend our useful time with our own teeth and kin. So whereas due to the generation moving forward, from the family it is moved to a nuclear family where hardly one child and father mother. So and the drawback of moving forward to the nuclear family is like we forget so many relationship, which is really a big concern for the kids because they have to read in books or they have to see maybe old movies to know about what is the generation gap, what is the relations, how did they spend the time in a best way within the family to enjoy the glory and to pass on. So I strongly suggest still we can at least join once in a while with our known friends, relatives to fill the gap between the generation. So at least we give you a glimpse of the connection for the kids to the present world, also connecting to the past world. So thank you, Tabletop Master.
Well done, Natarajan. Thank you very well. Who is our VP Education? Who is that? Oh, you know what I mean. Okay. Can I have one more or finish?
Finish the time.
Time over.
Yes, time over.
Sure. One more. Okay, fine. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I am to call Karnagaran. That's the reason. Krishna Karnagaran. That's why. Anyway, thank you very much. And I hope that you all have enjoyed this. I try to bring the topic on the base of our theme, reconnect, disconnect to reconnect. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, DTM distinguished Toastmaster George Thomas, for bringing that thought-provoking table topics. And thank you all the Toastmasters who got the guts and courage to speak on their feet. Fantastic one. So all of you, DTM George Thomas, as well as the speakers, please, one good round of applause. Friends, before I conclude and hand over to Oh, time you have not taken. Okay. Can you read out the time taken by each speaker? Each speaker.
DTM Pradeep, 2 minutes 29 seconds.
Wow.
Toastmaster Praveen PM, 1 minute 22 seconds.
29 seconds.
Toastmaster Nainan Thamal, 2 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Govind Negi, 2 minutes 19 seconds. Mr. Nadarajan, 1 minute 46 seconds. All are qualified.
Very good. Fantastic. So let me conclude by saying that the more you get yourself disconnected from digital screens and digital media, I'm saying again, unnecessary usage, as DTM Pradeep mentioned, unnecessary usage only I'm talking about, unproductive usage, the better you can improve your connection, communication, and mindfulness, as Toastmaster Santosh mentioned, between yourself and your family members, between yourself and your friends, between yourself and your colleagues, and you can lead a balanced and a peaceful life. Thank you for being such a patient and wonderful audience. Now it's time for the general evaluator to conduct the evaluation segment. Please put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Prabhakar.
Thank you so much, EXIMIOUS Toastmaster of the day. Now I'm going to conduct the general evaluation segment. Already we are delayed by 15 minutes. Okay, so we'll start the session immediately. Now help me to welcome Toastmaster Anil Kumar to evaluate the speech by Toastmaster Dhoni, PM. Welcome, sir.
Mr. General Evaluator, the Toastmasters and my friends. If you consider 6 minutes as 6 balls, how many sixes he scored?
36.
I tell, in my opinion, he scored 5 6 and 1 4.
5 6 and 4.
that it will speak about the quality of his speech. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Give a big round of applause, please. The highlight of his speech, according to me, is first his confidence. Second, his charming smile. Third, the abundant use of the word of the day. Wow. I give another applause for him. There are many, many more highlights. Vocal variety is the first, as a icebreaker, is very, very commendable. He used the voice which is raised when the emphasis was given, many occasions. And when it was required, he lowered voice when he was about to thank his friends and family to make his life. So the vocal variety is another highlights of his speech. And of course, he had not used the notes. It's another good aspects of his speech. That's about the delivery. Now the content. He started speech with beautiful quote, which immediately caught attention of all our audience. When you compete with others, you may not win. But if you compete with yourself, you're certain to win. We got which caught attention of everybody. A good way of starting a speech. And then he went on to describe his family, his native place, then his profession, and his arrival in Oman, and his love with his land and his people. So we narrated very beautifully. Of course, ended his speech by giving thanks to all these people who helped him to be a person he is now today. The content was narrated in a good manner. As a icebreaker, also this is a commendable way of presenting a body of the speech. Having said the positives of your speech, let me examine what are the areas that you can improve in your next speech. Number one, to organize the body. You started with your background, early stages, then you came to Oman, then you went back to your early days. That could have been avoided. You continue with the flow, you start with there, then you come forward, and then you end. So that would have been a better flow of the body. And then to end a bit speech in a positive or a effective manner, you can bring a powerful message. So that's the second point. Of course, a icebreaker speech, these are not mandatory, but a recommendation for improving your speech to next speech. So these are the recommendation areas. Summarize, it was a fantastic speech, great opening, good message, well delivered speech, and with full of points which I have mentioned as areas of improvement. It will be a better speech next time. All the very best to you for the next speech. Back to you.
Right. You can give it to us.
I'll give to.
Now moving to the second evaluator, help me to welcome TTM Praveen Panikar to give the evaluation for Toastmaster Asa Mohan Raman. All the best.
General evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. My speaker, Toastmaster Asha Mohan, has delivered his second project in the same objective and the criteria. First and foremost, she has included whatever the recommendation has given by the first evaluator. So I have to really look into that aspect before I get into my evaluation. So today she was really looking from one side to the other. That way she is assured that she has taken care of that evaluator's recommendations. Second, the voice modulation. Also, during the speech, she was more or less all the time going up and down whenever it was required. So all the 2 points she is definitely included in today's speech. So let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Asha Mohan. And she started her speech with a beautiful quote of Nelson Mandela. A brave man is not the one who doesn't have fear, but is the one who has conquered the fear. It's a beautiful way to start a speech, especially is talking about fear, the deep depth of the sky. By giving the title, normally the title and the topic will not go in hand, but today she said the depth of the sky depicts her 2 fears, the fear of deep waters and fear of heights. So beautifully, she has selected a topic which conveys what she wanted to convey to all of us. Started with a good quote. Slowly, she said, fear and excitement both are a different coin, both the time how you feel. True, we all feel when we are excited, how actually the feelings come within and how the feelings come within when we all have fear. Then from there, he went to Ferrari World, Austria trip, how she felt. I'm not going into all those things. She has really explained to all of us how she felt when she experienced these 2 occasions. Then finally, she concluded her speech by saying, small tips can always change the habit of getting into fear or experiencing fear and live your life to the fullest. Beautifully started a speech, went to the top and come down and conclude a speech. Excellent way of presenting a good speech, considering all the aspects of that objective and criteria. As a recommendation, what I would say, I think you are very nicely presented your speech in a full confidence and so much of excitement you are having it. In that, you are slightly going fast. I have feeling. So you could have a little more pause. That will really make more impactful to the audience whenever you are seeing Australian trip, Ferrari World, all those things. No, a little more impact would have been there. People would have actually taken it. The second thing, you can definitely challenge yourself by adding a little bit of humor, especially wherever you went, all could have brought in some humor, like Ferrari World, Australian trip, whatever it is. So these 2 recommendations from my side. Otherwise, it was a fantastic speech, nicely delivered, with all of us definitely enjoyed, I'm sure. These small corrections, I'm sure you will again come up with an excellent speech. Wishing you all the very best and back to General Evaluate.
Thank you, sir. Right, sir. Right.
Thank you.
Now moving to the role players report. I would like to welcome our timer. Yeah. Yes.
2 minutes 43 seconds. And DTM Praveen Panikar, 3 minutes 15 seconds.
Okay. Both are eligible. So now I would like to welcome our timer to give the timer report for tonight's session. Please welcome our timer Toastmaster Satish.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening. Our session started at exactly 7:30 as per our agenda. And calling the meeting to order, the session, there is no delay. It was on time. And next session, introduction of role player also went as per agenda, and there is no delay, and it was completed as per our agenda on time. And third session, project speeches, there we have slightly delayed. Instead of 30 minutes, we used 35 minutes. So there we have around 5 minutes of delay during that session segments. And the snacks break, no delay. Exactly 10 minutes we have consumed, and then we have started our session. Table topic session, we have slight delay, about 7 minutes. And instead of 15 minutes, we used 22 minutes during that segment. So total overall 12 minutes delay. And evaluation session, as of now, 2 minutes delay. So including this evaluation session, as of now, almost 15 minutes we have delayed during our today's session. Thank you, and over to General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster. I too conclude this one. Next, we will hear from the Wordmaster Grammarian, EXIMIOUS Toastmaster Selva Kumar, who has been breaking our use of the word of the day today. Please put your hands together to welcome EXIMIOUS Toastmaster Selva Kumar.
Thank you, EXIMIOUS General Evaluator, for today's segment. Any guesses, dear Toastmasters?
28 times.
It is 24.
24.
Can we have a round of applause? EXIMIOUS. Indeed, it was a very tricky word of the day. Yes, but I don't count myself. But indeed, it was very fabulous usage of the word of the day today. And the highest stroker today is TMOD, who has used 6 times. Next comes the ice-breaking speaker, which is very astonishing to all of us. It's 5 times. And the other places goes in 1s and 2 places. So it was a very enthralling segment today by using the word of the day. As a grammarian, also as a word master, let me come to the good usage of words and phrases which was delivered today in this segment. Our president said, live the world like, no, I mean, yes, like the smell without our knowledge, to be the habitual. And our TMOD with a wonderful topic. It's a new word indeed, I believe. Digital detox. Disconnect to reconnect. And many more phrases used today. And our speaker, the first speaker, Dhoni, who used his opening quote, if you compete with others, you may not win. But when you compete with yourself, you may be a better person. Toastmaster Asha, conquer the fears by Nelson Mandela, and many more phrases which I forgot to notice of your fantabulous speech today. Yes, there were some improper usage, but very minimal today, like past tense, present tense, singular, plural. And I believe today it was a wonderful segment or a session with an experienced and rich Toastmasters today who has delivered the speeches. With this, my report concludes. Back to the General Evaluator.
Thank you. You can give it. So next we will move on to the next role player report, our counter. Let me put your hands together to welcome our Toastmaster Dhawan to present the counter report.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Before I start my report, I would like to thank Mr. Jina sir for tying this mic to me and Mr. Johnny also. Yes. And now I will present my report. Mr. TM Suresh, he has used one time A. DTM Jinachandran has used one time Ya. And then TM Doni, he has used nice things that you thank to Mr. Selva Kumar. It's very good. And you use I couple of times, but it's good. And TM Asamohan he has used one time, Mr. Santosh, TM Santosh, he has taken my words, like as a I'm speaking many times. And in table topic, Mr. Natarajan, yes, he has also taken my words, like many times, That's it for the today's report from my side. And I would like to say about one line from disconnect to reconnect. All of us have reconnected as a not from the digital world, from our physical world also. Like if he or she might have got a call from someone, from the childhood friends, from the college friends, a call after 10 years or something like 10 or 15 years, then the smile and the face what we have on our face for a day, that will also reconnect to someone, like as a our not as a friend, but as our relatives also, as our parents also. So that's also called as a reconnect, from disconnect to reconnect. Thank you very much. Now over to you, Central Division.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Gavan.
Now let's welcome the general evaluator.
Yeah, now let's welcome the general evaluator. Timer you can note down because the time is short. I will submit my report. First of all, this session I have monitored when the TMOD announced the theme itself. TMOD announced the theme well in advance. He introduced the theme on Sunday evening, afternoon, 12:17 p.m. itself. And our word master grammarian, Toastmaster Selva Kumar, he introduced the word eximious on Monday morning 9:07 a.m. It's a well in advance, he announced. And our TMOD published that agenda at 9:13 p.m. on Monday. And our VPPR released the agenda, released the flyer by yesterday evening 8:11 p.m. And today morning, he shared that our web link also and the flyer also once again, morning by 7:27 a.m. itself. So this time that agenda, planning, everything, it was meticulously prepared. It was, the credit goes to our eximious Toastmaster of the day, DTM Jinachandran. Please give him a round. So coming to today's meeting, our Sergeant at Arms, he started the meeting on time by 7:31 p.m. And he delivered that Toastmaster mission, and he spoke about what are the do's and don'ts. And followed by, he introduced the president. President has given more inspirational speech about the diving and swimming. Also, he introduced the guest in an excellent manner. And followed by, TMOD introduced the role player, and he has spoken about the theme disconnect to reconnect. What are the things, major portion we are spending on the digital media, and how we can do the digital detox. And he mentioned some of the important, some informative way, 7 habits of effective people by Stephen Covey, and where we should focus, where we should not focus. And a timer, all the role players, he called all the role players, he introduced in a very effective way. All the role players, they came and they performed the role and they explained very effectively. And regarding the speaker, our first time icebreaker speaker, Toastmaster Dhoni. He delivered the fantastic speech. Congratulations to you for the upcoming speeches also. And he used the word of the day more times also. And the speech like was eminent speaker, how they are delivering without fear. It's a flawless speech. And our second speaker, Toastmaster Asha Mohan Raman, also delivered about height and deep water experience. Even I also experienced that Ferrari World roller coaster almost 10 years before. It was very fantastic. And she explained a lot of Australian water games, all those things. It was very nice. And our humor master, Toastmaster Santosh Karkal, he delivered the humorous for making entertainment all of us. It was very nice. And table topics was conducted by our double DTM George Thomas, and he has sponsored mouth-watering snacks. So kudos to give a round of applause to Toastmaster DTM George Thomas. And he conducted the table topic in a more meticulous way. He connected with the theme, all the topics, it is related to the theme. And he called all the role players as well as guests. He has given opportunity to all. Thank you, sir. Then come to the most of the role players as well as speakers, evaluators, or TMO, everybody has performed very nicely. Few suggestions just to make the session still more effective. Surgeon at Arms, if he could have arranged the chairs well in advance before starting the meeting, it would be for the members as well as guests, it would be good. And ballot paper should be keep before starting of the session. So this we should improve. And the agenda you mentioned under evaluation and segment. Under the evaluation, we have mentioned evaluator 1, evaluator 2 instead of evaluator name, as well as under the speaker name, we have mentioned instead of speaker name, we have mentioned evaluator name. We have missed out. So that we should improve it. Overall, the session was covered with triple E's: educate, elevate, entertain. So the credit goes to Toastmaster of the day. Educate, elevate, and entertain. Over to Toastmaster of the day. Educate, elevate, and entertain. The credit goes to Toastmaster of the day. EXIMIOUS Toastmaster.
Thank you. Thank you very much, General Evaluator, for that elaborated explanation of your role as well as fantastic way of giving the feedback for improvement of future sessions. Friends, VP Education is currently out of town and he has mentioned that the role plays and speakers list will be published in the group and you will soon get it. Thereby, we are saving 2 minutes. Now, may I request the President to join me here and continue with the presidential. Oh, yeah. Presidential closing ceremony.
Thank you. Please vote for the best role player. Just 2 minutes. Okay. So, kindly note our membership payment for the next term is on. So, please request who has not paid the membership, please pay the membership for the term starting from October 1st. Then I have shared in our WhatsApp group some awards. There are 3 files: program quality and VP education. Different 3 files are the PowerPoint presentation. If you see the PowerPoint presentation, first few slides are for the member award, then the club award, then area award. So look for the club member awards for you and work on it, please. The criteria is there, the dates are mentioned it. So please work on member awards. So we need the members to grab more awards. So 3 files I shared it in last 2 days back. So please do that. Then coming Saturday at 7:45, there is a base camp training organized by Division G. So that has been shared in our group. So please attend. It's online by Zoom, 7:45 and Saturday. Then our annual day will be on 18th of October, and Toastmasters anniversary will be on 18th October. Toastmasters Sadish Selvaraju will be the MC, and we'll have an entertainment segment like last year. I think this is our 16th year or 16th year. 16th year. This is we are going to celebrate 16th year. So, how was the session today? It was fantastic session, no doubt. But how was the introduction of role player? Can I see the role player reaction? I enjoyed last week when he called me for doing the role, but this week I know he has called all the role players till they see some water drops in the eye. He has gone to that extent to introduce the role players. Amazing. When Toastmaster Nayan Thomas said we need to do a proper role player introduction, today is the example how we can introduce each member to the stage, to the dais. Thank you, Distinguished Toastmaster Jinachandran Nambiar. Let us put our hand together to welcome our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Jinachandran. And let us welcome our guest, Mr. Nambiar. Welcome, Master. Best evaluator for tonight, Distinguished Master Praveen Panikar. Everybody, let's take one more photograph, right? And our best table topics award is distributed by two DTMs, DTM Govind Negi and DTM Pradeep R.
Table topic master was with us. Oh, so that great. What? Sir.
Thank you. Take the trophy. Take the trophy. And best speaker, Toastmaster Asha Mohan. Best role player goes to Toastmaster Prabhakar. Thank you so much, Distinguished Toastmaster Jinachandran sir. We have few awards here. These two awards our member has not collected. Basically, these three. First one is Indian Toastmaster Club Basket Club Contest 21-22 to Tata Mohan third place on evaluation contest. And appreciation award from District 105 for selfless service and outstanding support to DTAC 2023. Wow. Yeah. Both. Rings are not ring. Even our But there is one more. There is a triple crown award for the new members. This is she has completed 3 levels in 1 year.
Wow.
So she has got a triple crown. So may I request the minister, those master Hasadev, to give the pin to the president. Certificates in our record. So we would like to give, starting with our founder president, George Thomas. I will lead you.
Thank you, thank you. I have no clue what's this.
It's that table top.
We definitely, you spoke and you went through. You spoke and nine years in the gate handle.
Yes, all right. May I request the DTM Govind Negi for the participation, the certificates. Request all members to come up. Toastmaster कितना कहना है? Toastmaster Sadish Salvaraju, certificate of the Area 9. Yes, support. Toastmaster Rajesh Kumar, extra mile award from Area 19.
I'm not in the right angle. You can.
Toastmaster Praveen PN, certificate appreciation. That is what? Club support. Club support. DTM Praveen Panikar, Best Speaker Award.
One pending clearance law.
So the work is taken back, or you got out of it.
Toastmaster Asa Mohan, there is one yeah, I'll sort it for you. You don't have I want to sort it.
Thank you. Same gold ones.
Toastmaster Prabhakar.
Yeah.
2 minutes, we are going to finish. Certificate of appreciation, DTM Jinachandran Nambiar.
Oh, what for it? Oh, one thing, he wants to take action replay. Action replay.
Toastmaster Anil Kumar for the area support.
Education.
All the certificates go through Toastmaster Chandramani. We have 4 certificates. George Thomas and for Toastmaster Ryan and Thomas.
Ganesh Chaturthi clearance sale.
Then it's speed post.
And certificate Thomas. Okay.
Ganesh Chaturthi clearance sale.
So the meeting is adjourned. We'll have the photograph. Thank you. Thank you.
New bill passed Ganesh Chaturthi.
That's true. Ignore that. We are also now. Or find almost.
Carrying is carrying.
Yeah, that's what I said before.
That is so steady. Once a while was okay. What I don't.
They have fully covered us. The screen should be in the front, I think.
It seems certificate printing has become cheaper.